If you ever feel like you're not good enough just as you are, I want you to hear this. Pretending to be someone you're not will always cost you more than just your pride. I learned that the hard way. I pretended to be rich, and in the end, I lost the girl I thought was the one. It all started small. I met her at this rooftop party. She was elegant, confident, the kind of girl who doesn't even look at you unless you've got something going for you. At least that's what I told myself. So when she asked me what I did for a living, I panicked. I didn't want to say just figuring things out. So I lied. I told her I was managing my own e-commerce business and traveling a lot. Not exactly a massive lie, just not the truth either. But here's the part they don't want you to know. Once you start lying, it doesn't stop. It builds. It becomes this whole fake world you have to maintain just to keep people impressed. Next thing I knew, I was borrowing clothes from friends who actually had money, renting cars for the weekend just to post pictures and acting like that wasn't weird. I even took her to restaurants where I'd order only water because I didn't want the bill to get too high. She didn't notice at first. Or maybe she did, but she liked the fantasy I was selling. Stay with me, because in just a few moments, you'll see how this all connects and how fast it can all fall apart. I remember one night she asked if we could take a trip together. Just the two of us. Somewhere sunny, expensive, and full of Instagrammable views. I said yes without thinking, trying to look cool. I was broke. My bank account literally had $12.43 in it. I spent the next few days in full panic mode, applying for loans, trying to flip stuff online, even borrowing money from people I hadn't talked to in years. Most people never realize this, but once you're in the game of pretending, you start to believe it yourself. I started walking differently, talking differently, like I was trying to convince myself I was actually rich. Deep down, I was terrified. Every time I got a text from her, I was scared it would be the one that exposed me. The trip was the beginning of the end. I found this sketchy deal online, some cheap Airbnb in Miami that looked luxury enough in photos. I bought 2 round-trip tickets with borrowed money. I thought if I could just keep the illusion going for a little longer, everything would work out. Maybe I'd even get rich for real by then. Delusion? Definitely. But when you're desperate to be seen as enough, logic disappears. So we go on the trip. I've never been so anxious pretending to be chill. I was calculating every dollar in my head. I remember standing in the bathroom one night, brushing my teeth with a free sample toothbrush because I couldn't afford to buy one. She was asleep in the other room, thinking we were on some luxury getaway. And me? I was dying inside, wondering how long I could keep this going. Then came the dinner, the big one. She made a reservation at this fancy seafood place by the beach, one of those spots with no prices on the menu. My chest got tight the second I sat down. I thought of excuses. Let's just get drinks. I'm not that hungry. Nothing worked. When the check came, I stared at the number like it was a death sentence. I smiled, handed over my card, and yeah, it got declined. She laughed at first, like it was no big deal. But then I saw it, that little shift in her eyes, that flicker of doubt. I tried to laugh too. Bank fraud alert, I said. They do this all the time. I pulled out another card. Declined, again. She didn't say anything on the ride back, just looked out the window. The next morning, she was gone. No note, no message, nothing. And that's when it hit me. She didn't just walk away from me. She walked away from the version of me I had created. A version that wasn't even real. And the saddest part, I missed her. But she never actually knew me in the first place. After she left, I didn't even feel heartbroken. I felt exposed, like the world had ripped my mask off and forced me to look at myself for the first time. Everything I built just to look good enough crumbled in one night. And for what? A few likes, some attention, and a fantasy relationship that was built on nothing but lies? I spent weeks replaying everything in my head. Could I have just told the truth from the beginning? Would she have still liked me? Or was I just chasing someone who only liked the version of me I was pretending to be? Here's the thing nobody tells you. Being real is scary, but being fake is exhausting. Every lie you tell becomes a rope around your own neck. And eventually, that rope tightens. Most people never realize this, but pretending to be someone you're not doesn't just hurt others, it destroys you. There was this moment, a few weeks later, where I saw her post a story. She was smiling with someone else, genuinely happy. And I realized she didn't ruin me. I did that to myself. So yeah, I lost the girl of my dreams. But maybe she wasn't the dream. Maybe the real dream is becoming someone I don't have to lie about. Since then, I've been doing everything I can to rebuild, slowly, quietly, and honestly. I don't flash, I don't flex. I just live. And the people who stay, they stay because of me. Not the version I rent, not the lies I sell, just me. So if you're out there pretending, trying to impress, trying to be something you're not, please stop. Not for them, but for you, because no matter how good the lie looks on the outside, the inside always feels empty. And trust me, it's not worth it.